2024. Adequate notice of tonight's meeting has been provided in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act by the following methods: distribution of notice to the record, posting of the agenda on the school district website through Parent Square, on the Board of Ed's Facebook page, and on various Leonia listservs. Please note that the board will be moving away from the announcements via the Facebook page and listservs after the last meeting of this school year, which we're currently in. Correct. All announcements regarding the board meeting will be provided via Parent Square, which is open to the entire community. So we strongly encourage you to register for an account for a timely receipt of information from the board. As well, members of the public may also watch our board meeting live through YouTube. However, public comment will be limited to those that attend in person and to comments submitted to the board president or superintendent 12 hours prior to the meeting start time, which will be read or summarized within the time allowance. Before we get into the Pledge of Allegiance, I'd like to just welcome everyone to the first meeting of the new year. Happy New Year 2024, and as we progress to finishing this school year. So if everyone could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the roll call. Ms. Choi?
Present.
Mr. Park? Here. Ms. Rackow?
Here.
Mrs. Zepka? Here. Mr. Sagal? Here. Ms. Thompson?
Here.
Ms. Wild?
Here.
Ms. Melman?
Present.
Mr. Lee? Present. And as well, we have our new member to the board, Dr. Vista. Present. Well, also in attendance, we have our superintendent of schools, Dr. Brian Gadens, as well as our assistant superintendent of schools, Dr. Xanti Caramanos, as well as our board attorney, Mr. LePere. With that being said, we have 3 board members elect. We're going to be re-elected or elected to a 3-year term. Mr. Lee, Ms. Melman, and Dr. Misa, congratulations on your election. At this time, we'll do the administer of the oath to the elected board members. On your seat, you should have a copy, and then we'll do it all together. Okay. Once we do the required oaths, we'll take a 5-minute break. We can take pictures with the family. Family. Okay. So if you raise your right hand and repeat after me. Here you go. Okay, so I, and then say your name.
I, Daniel Leonia,
Do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same and to the governments established in the United States
to the same and to the governments established in the United States
and this state,
and this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Next statement, I, and state your name,
I, Daniel Leonia,
do solemnly swear
so solemnly swear
that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law
that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law
for the office of member of a Board of Education,
for the office of member of the Board of Education,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of that office
perform all the duties of that office
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. So at this time, we'll take a 5-minute break. Your families are more than welcome to come up. We'll take pictures. If you want, we could take turns if you want to take behind the tape. I mean, whatever.
Oh, yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Whoever wants to.
Ready for basketball practice.
Take a picture for that.
Just a bit more, center a little bit. Center. One more step. Beautiful, right there's good. Very nice.
One more. Yeah.
There you go. That's a good picture. All right, thank you.
Oh, that's extra one. Oh, would you move it? Would you selfie?
I'll hold the owl here for you. Puppet.
No.
I'm the young
Yeah. They were a big step to the right,
We'll just Photoshop.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Next order of business on the agenda is the election of the officers. So just to kind of go over district policy, the process, how it works is any member may place a member's name in nomination. A second is not required. Election for each office will be conducted by a vote when the nominations are closed. The candidate receiving the majority of the vote of the members of the board present and constituting a quorum will be elected to office. Voting shall take place by verbal roll call of the vote after nominations are closed. When more than one person has been nominated, the board will vote on the candidates in the order in which they were nominated. Which is pretty much, okay. Okay, so I'll open it up to nominations for board president.
Daniel Lee.
Okay,
You need a second.
Second.
I don't believe so.
No.
Is there any other nominations? Do I have a motion to close the nomination?
Motion.
Ms. Thompson? Right. Okay, now we'll do roll call. Ms. Choi?
Yes.
Dr. Vista?
Yes.
Mr. Park?
Yes.
Ms. Rockow?
Yes.
Mr. Zepka,
Yes.
Mr. Sagal,
Yes.
Ms. Thompson,
Yes.
Ms. Wilds,
Yes.
Ms. Melman,
Yes.
and Mr. Lee.
Yes.
Congratulations. Now, President Lee. With that being said. You got it.
Gavel.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your vote of confidence. So that brings us to the nominations for vice president. Can I have do we need?
Just a nomination.
Okay, can I have any nominations for vice president?
Nominate Kim Millman.
Thank you, Ms. Raquel. Any other nominations for vice president? Okay, can I have a motion to close nominations?
Motion.
Mr. Segal, and a second?
You know,
Oh, okay. All right, can I have roll call, please?
Ms. Troy,
Yes.
Dr. Meester,
Yes.
Mr. Park,
Yes.
Ms. Rackhouse,
Yes.
Mr. Zepka,
Yes.
Mr. Sagal,
Yes.
Ms. Thompson,
Yes.
Ms. Wilds,
Yes.
Ms. Melman,
Yes.
and President Lee.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much for your vote of confidence. And I look forward to another year of working together with all of you. Couldn't do it without you all. So I appreciate it very much. That brings us to our public comments regarding any agenda-related items. Anyone from the public wishing to speak, please step up to the podium, provide your name and address, and you'll have a 2-minute time. Anyone from the public? Oh, actually, there. Second section. Okay, all right. Arthur, please.
You want flip of public presentations with the, with this, or no? Sometimes they do that. Let them get their presentation out of the way. I've got a few things, so.
I think we'll be okay,
Okay,
but thank you.
Steve, is that your old sign, your name tag, or did you bring it on? Well, welcome back. Good to see you back in serving the borough and school district. I have a couple of questions. First question is regarding the federal reimbursement from FEMA. I heard that they are having a real hard time reimbursing some school districts, some towns also who have claims in. So my question is regarding that, are we having that problem? And if so, how much are we short? Because they haven't reimbursed us yet. So I'd like to know if that's affecting the district. The second is we have, it's not an agenda item per se, but it's always on the bottom of the agenda, which are the goals. So goals are typically something that you have that you want to achieve that are also measurable. I don't know how you're going to measure. I think they're good goals. I'm not going to question about what you've itemized, but how are you going to measure them and how are you going to determine where you're at on them and how you're going to be, if you're successful or not successful, which is okay, as long as you're going to have a remediation plan to achieve that. On the school visits, there's a MD thing after some of the things. I don't know what that means. It's, like group LMS, MD. It's mostly LMS, it looks like. So I don't know what LMS. I know what the LMS is, but I don't know what the MD is. I thought it was a doctor, but it's not obviously not. Under finance K, unanticipated bus revenue for $49,000. I know you don't know who's going to call to get bus service and how much that's going to generate. That's quite a bit of revenue that we're, do we get that every year? Is that pretty much, do we get $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year? Is that something we can anticipate instead of leaving it unanticipated? Just a question, because that might help, when you're looking for money to spend. If you're anticipating on the revenue side, then you'll have it. If you're not, it's always nice to get. It's always a nice surprise, but you don't want to leave it out there at the regular. The reserve, I'd like an explanation. It looks like, I'm a little confused. It looks like we're, at some point, there was supposed to be a $3.9 million reserve, and it was reduced by 1.9 million or 1.8 million to pay down debt service. That left it about 1.3 million. And then elsewhere on the form, it was showing we were down to something like 77,000. I'm not sure. I don't understand all the numbers, what is the balance? The next question is regarding the 1.9 million to pay down the debt service. Don't we budget that on a line item and pay it out of the line item rather than take the money out of the reserve account? So I'd like an explanation as to that. I think that is it for that I can remember. I think Steve's picture was nice. I know where all the green leaves were behind you, but it was a nice picture. That is it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else from the public wishing to speak regarding any agenda-related items? Okay, seeing none, that brings us to our next agenda, or excuse me, yeah, we'll do our public presentations and we'll provide answers to the questions. So that brings us up to public presentations. Okay, so we'll do responses. Apologize, we're gonna move to Board of Education members and student Board of Education member comments.
Sure, Arthur, how are you? Good to see you. Happy New Year. So our student representatives are not here tonight as a reorg meeting. I won't have a report tonight of any great length, and so the student representatives who are always busy with school and getting ready, they have a night off. So they say hello to everybody. Eric will speak to items that came up here, we'll get there in a second. Regarding the district and Board of Education goals, now that we're crossing over we're 4 months into the school year, getting towards the middle of the school year, I'll have an update on those goals and where we stand. Midway through the year, then again at the end of the year, and the board will go through that process. So in a future meeting, it probably won't be, most likely will be a meeting in February. I'll have something for the public and for the board about where we are with those goals. To give a context of that, the phrase, the acronym MD stands for multiply disabled. It's a special education.
What?
Multiply disabled.
Oh,
It's a special education term.
thank you.
Yeah, we put that on there. And those are the two issues that pertain to me. Eric wants to speak to the other questions.
Relating to the first question with FEMA reimbursements, we actually received all the FEMA reimbursements. So the money is right now sitting in a deferred revenue. Once we finalize our insurance, what isn't covered by insurance to offset some of those FEMA costs. Because they basically went through our insurance policy and they determined a certain number that the district would be out of pocket for, which we have a little discrepancy on, so that's in deferred revenue. The other portion, we received the money that they approved for our mitigation projects. So basically, we just have to, go out through the purchasing process, complete the project, and close it out with FEMA.
So we're not waiting for anything.
So we're not waiting for anything, correct? As far as the unanticipated revenue for transportation, typically that is something that could be part of the budget. When I do the budget, any items that we have a signed agreement with any districts that we are transporting their students, similar to Edgewater or sending receiving relationship. If we have an agreement in place at the time of the budget, that's something that we can anticipate. This wasn't an agreement that we had at the time, when we did the budget. So this came up during the year. It was actually structurally worked out with Ridgefield Park as far as staffing. So because of it, we brought on the overall cost of the salaries to offset, the transportation. So we're bringing that in as revenue, that part of that joint transportation agreement. Relating to the reserve balance. So the reserves are pretty much broken up into different components. We're currently in the process of finalizing our audits. I don't have the final audited numbers at June 30th, 23. So these are, estimated numbers that I could give you today. So roughly our reserves are broken down into capital reserve and maintenance reserve. Those are the two main reserves that we typically have as a district that we approved. With the exception last end of the year, June, I believe June 20th, 23 board meeting, we approved the ability to create a tuition reserve because of our sending receiving relationship. So once we finalize The excess surplus will determine if it's beneficial, and as we finalize also what the estimated, if we owe money back to Edgewater, if Edgewater, owes us money based on the certified rates, based on the actual ASSA count, we'll determine if that is something that's needed at that time. But basically, our capital reserve at the end of the year was roughly, give or take, 2 million. What we withdrew out to cover, some of those projects that we budgeted, which we're still in the phase of seeing what we can do, what we need to cover from capital reserve. That's pretty much estimated to be reduced down to 1.3, with anticipated money getting transferred back to capital reserve to replenish what we took out. Our maintenance reserve is estimated to sit typically around 850. So we're looking what we withdrew for this school year, we're looking to replenish from excess surplus at the end of last school year. The other item that's listed in reserve is not typical, and well, I shouldn't say not all of it, but some of it's not typical in every school district. One of it's our insurance money. Let me back up. The other reserve that we have is broken up, and it should be on most districts' balance sheet. It's the reserve for excess surplus. That's something that we identify how much in excess surplus will be returned to the taxpayers based on what we budgeted and what we didn't utilize. And then the other portion, which is something new to most districts, is the unemployment fund. Based on a new GASB standard, we had to roll that into the general fund. So with those two components, that makes up about a little bit, roughly $1 million. In addition, the other item, which I don't believe on the board secretary shows up as excess surplus, but I believe it shows up as fund balance, is our insurance recovery money. So this is money basically we got up front from our insurance proceeds to cover the IDA damages. So as we finalize that number, that's going to eventually zero out. And then we'll offset it with the FEMA money. And that's pretty much all that component should make up the 3 point something million. But that's, as of right now, it's unaudited. So the board secretary will be adjusted based on the final audited numbers that we get from our auditors. The last one, I just had to follow up when you said the pay down of debt service.
Right.
What, I just need
It
clarification.
was it was showing 1.9 million out of withdrawal from capital reserve, transfer to debt service 1.952, et cetera, which was brought the total unappropriated down to 1.3 million. So I wasn't sure why we're paying, maybe I'm misreading it.
What
If
page
we're
is it?
transferring to debt service, then aren't we going to have to cover debt service?
Which page are you looking at?
I'm looking at
Page
the
three?
report of the it's on page 3 of,
That's, the way it is, that line is fund balance.
the recapitulation of budget fund balance on page 3 at the bottom. The question was, don't we have a line item for debt service that we pay back, and why would we be taking that money? It appears from the description, maybe it's not true, that we're taking 1.9 out of our reserve to pay debt service when we should actually be budgeting for our debt service.
Correct, that 1.9, but the line is fund balance. The withdrawal, it's hard to, because it's not like lined across, but that line withdrawal from capital reserve is 0.
Oh, okay, there's nothing to the right of it, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's 0, so if it lines, that number lines up with fund balance. That's basically our money that we have in fund balance, less.
Okay, there's no 0, it's just blank, so I didn't realize.
Correct.
Sorry.
But that, what that is used for, from statute, districts are allowed to utilize capital reserve to pay down debt on a bond referendum. So
But if we have a bond referendum, I would expect that we would be able to budget for that, and have a line item that we pay.
no, correct, but what happens, a lot of times, or sometimes, so if we do a referendum, let's say the project comes less than what we anticipate, but we fully funded the debt, the balance of that referendum typically gets transferred back to capital reserve, back to debt service, to fund, to offset the debt.
Thank you.
we have any other comments from board members? Ms. Choi.
Sure, happy New Year to everybody. I just wanted to say thank you to Mr. Lee and Ms. Melman for the wonderful year last year. We did a lot in a very efficient way, and I believe you two were a very critical component of all that, and really appreciate it. And also, being willing to do that again, whole another year, that's amazing, and I am so appreciative of your time, effort, and your heart. So I just wanted to say thank you and welcome, Dr. and Mr. We've been hearing really good things about you from the past board members, so this is really exciting, another exciting year. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other board members, any comments? Yes.
Okay, can I ask a couple of questions about like regarding personal items, or is it like?
We'd have to do that in closed.
Okay, sure.
That was the only question.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because I have some couple of questions.
Okay. Any other board members, comments on agenda items? Okay. Seeing none, that will bring us to the approval of consent agenda items. Can I have a motion and a second? Ms. Thompson, motion and second. Mr. Park. Roll call, please.
Ms. Choi,
Yes?
Dr. Meester,
Yes.
Mr. Park,
Yes.
Ms. Rackow,
Yes.
Mr. Zepka,
Yes.
Mr. Sagal,
Yes.
Ms. Thompson,
Yes.
Ms. Wiles,
Yes.
Vice President Melman,
Yes.
and President Lee.
Yes.
Motion carries on consent agenda items.
Next item is the administrative reports.
Yeah. No reports to.
Like similarly with committees, they are going to be dissolved and new committees will be established by our next meeting. So there are no committee reports for tonight. That brings us to our next agenda item, which is new business. This is just a motion.
Motion second and roll call.
I have a motion for new business items A through E. Motion, Snowman in the second. Park, Mr. Park, and can I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Choi,
Yes?
Dr. Meester,
Yes.
Mr. Park,
Yes.
Ms. Rackow,
Yes.
Mr. Zepka,
Yes.
Mr. Sagal,
Yes.
Ms. Thompson,
Yes.
Ms. Wiles,
Yes.
Vice President Melman,
Yes.
and President Lee.
Yes.
Motion carries on new business.
Okay, thank you. So that brings us to our second public comment period. Anyone wishing to speak, please step to the podium, state your name and address, 2-minute time limit.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. My name is Christian Choi, and I'm from 74 Meadowview Court, Leonia, New Jersey. My name is Christian Choi. I have the honor of serving as the senior patrol leader for the Leonia Scouts VSA, Troop 71. Although I grew up in the Leonia school system, I am now a junior in Bergen Catholic High School. I am presently a candidate for the rank of Eagle Scout. Achieving the rank of Eagle Scout is a culmination of a long and fulfilling journey in the Scouts. That journey is a team effort and never travels alone. I have the support of my troop and scout advisors, and I am now asking for your support and the community's support in helping me finalize my journey. I am proud to announce my Eagle Scout project, which will be to create and display memorial portrait banners for veterans in Leonia. I hope to display the banners in the month of May when Armed Forces Day and Memorial Day are observed. Honoring those who served who have served and sacrificed is very important, not only as an expression of gratitude for our veterans, but also as a reminder to our community about the importance of service. My purpose of being here today is to introduce myself and my Eagle Scout project, solicit participation from the community, and raise funds for the project. The costs are about $130 for each banner. Some banners will be funded by the participants. However, many will need community donations. I am targeting about 100 veteran banners with the capacity for more. The Leonia Scouts BSA has already approved the project, as well as the mayor and council. I would ask your help to advertise the project to our school communities and parent organizations. And I hope to adopt a simple banner design like this for Leonia. It is of my father, and I have also brought another example here as well. Tonight, I have distributed a copy of the letter to the residents, the veteran information submission form, as well as the contribution form. I have also set up a website at www.leoniavetbanners.com. A mass email and social media campaign is also expected to reach out to the residents. Submissions and contributions can be made by mail, email, GoFundMe, and through Zelle. I will also set up contribution boxes at the Borough Hall and at the Recreation Department. Submissions will be accepted up to March 1st, 2024, for the banners to be displayed in May. I hope to be able to connect with the school's communities for this project. Thank you.
Questions or no? How does it work? Oh. Sounds great. I'm just curious, like, how many veterans information have you collected so far? Just want to have a feel for, you know, how much more to go, like how far we need to reach.
So far I haven't received any veteran information. I just set up my website this past Christmas break, but I'm proud to say that I did set up the GoFundMe and Zelle, and I've received roughly about $2,500 in donations already.
Oh, that's really great.
How much was it?
2,500.
You said 100 or 30, so.
So if we don't know if a veteran will be want to contribute, would we just use the process you explained there and it'll go to a specific veteran?
Yeah, I've had people have already donated from outside of Leonia, and people. I also went around to businesses this past Saturday, and I've received donations from them as well.
So I guess the real key thing at the moment, fundraising of course, but just spreading the word so all the veterans in our town know about this project and submit the information. Your husband too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. So I love this. I often wondered why our town doesn't do this, but I'm excited that you're doing this. My husband is an 8-year veteran of the Navy, so I'll definitely submit his information. I guess I would also encourage you to reach out to the American Legion. They would probably know all the veterans in town and could potentially share their contact information. This is amazing. I think this is great.
Thank you.
So Christian, thank you for me. Thank you first off for doing this. Thank you to your father for his service.
Yes,
very
Thank
much.
you.
The good news for you is that this project aligns with how we use our Parent Square platform. Parent Square is a social media platform that we use to connect with our families as well as with the community. Roughly, when we send an email, 4,000 people get it. It's 4,000 people. We would a post up, it goes up by email. And this qualifies for that because you're here as representative of the Boy Scouts of Leonia. So we could definitely use that. So what I'd like for you to do, and you can do it tonight or tomorrow or whenever you have a chance, if you send me a simple flyer with some verbiage, some language you want me to use, we'll have our tech department will take that and we'll transfer it to a post. We'll have that posted and it'll go out to the 4,000 people. I do recommend to you, in terms of the timeline that you want to do this, be thoughtful about when you want to send it out. It's post the holidays now, people are just getting busy again, things like that. You might want to be thoughtful about when it goes out, but we'll work with you on that. We're more than happy to support you. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice.
we'll continue with the public portion. If anyone else from the public, has any comments regarding non-agenda related items.
You want me to talk? I'll get up and talk. I'll talk for an hour.
No talking, just donate. That's your job.
When I was in business, I used to I worked at Panasonic. My last business job before I did consulting, I worked in facilities and real estate, and we sponsor, being at headquarters, the national conference. So my boss would always have me organize it, and then we'd fit up an agenda, and then it'd be gaps. And I said, well, I'd be up there and I'd have to talk. I'd be the Phillips. I'd just get up and talk about anything facilities related until she gave me the old,
We're ready.
right. So I can do that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so seeing no other members from the public wishing to speak, we'll move on to the second board comment. Many other board members have any non-agenda related items they'd like to discuss?
Happy New Year.
Briefly, I'll just state again, thank you so much for the nomination and election for president, and thank you to the public for the election, and I congratulate Dr. Beaster and Ms. Melman on their elections to the board as well. Thank everyone for a great year last year. I know it was a year of kind of just restarting things with Dr. Gates coming on board. We've got an excellent team behind us and an excellent board here. I am absolutely looking forward to 2024, especially with strategic planning coming on board. I know we have lots of big discussions and negotiations that'll happen this year as well, which we'll look forward to working through successfully. But I couldn't ask for a better board to work with this year, and I'm very much looking forward to it. And I thank you all for all your hard work for last year. And I'm thanking you ahead of time for all the work to do this. Thank you very much. Okay, so that brings us to our next item on the agenda. That's closed session, which we do need to discuss a few matters. So for those members from the public, and those that are watching on YouTube, we thank you for watching now. We'll be moving into closed session, which will be about 15 to 20 minutes. If you do want to wait on YouTube and come back, if you do want to wait for the final portion of the meeting. But for now, I will take a motion to go into closed. As Mr. Park, and second.
Ms. Rakow?
Yes.
Mr. Zepka?
Yes.
Mr. Sagal?
Yes.
Ms. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Wilds?
Yes.
Vice President Melman?
Yes.
And President Lee?
Yes.
Motion carries on personnel items.
Thank you. Can I have a motion for adjournment? Mr. Park, second, Ms. Thompson. All in favor? Any opposed or abstentions? Okay, you're adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone. Happy New Year, folks. Happy New Year. Good to see you again.
Also, going to donate when you're right now. I can say that.